Hello everyone, welcome to this month's webinar. We are going to be talking today about health on the road. Don't let your diet unravel while you travel. I think that's great advice, and we're going to give you some ideas about how to make that happen. Okay, we are the Healthy Utah testing staff, and I'm Becky. I've been testing for about 3 years, so this is my third season out traveling the state of Utah, and it can be a lot of fun, but it can bring with it some challenges. And so one of the biggest things that I noticed early on is that eating out constantly doesn't work very well. I think the weight that you can put on in a very small amount of time is kind of a challenge. And so I learned early on that I wanted to make sure that I made good, healthy choices every time that I was on a trip so that I would feel better about myself overall. So we want to just go over some things that work for us, give you some ideas and some suggestions, and maybe some things to avoid. Hopefully that will help you out as you enjoy some summer traveling this year. So planning ahead. There really isn't a way to eat well or even to just take care of your health in general when you're traveling on a regular basis unless you do some things to plan ahead. And so just a couple of ideas here. The first thing you're going to want to do is actually think about where you're going to be traveling. What's going to be available there? Is there going to be a breakfast available in the morning? If so, then what's going to be available there? Who do you have with you? What kinds of needs need to be met there? The big thing for me was always the amenities. Is there a microwave? Is there a refrigerator? Those are always big questions for me because that has a lot to do with what I bring along with me. I always like to pack a bag. In fact, I even bring my Nutri-Ninja along so that I can have my smoothies in the morning. I wouldn't suggest that everybody needs to go that far, but it certainly helped me to stick with some of my plans. So pack a bag, bring a cooler of some sort. There are a lot of portable options these days. Trader Joe's has an awesome portable freezer bag that I carry with me every week. So make sure that you've got some healthy snacks available to you. Keep it packed in a place that you're going to be able to easily access, and plan to bring along food for part of or most of your meals and snacks, and then you're ahead of the game. If you've brought a little bit too much, then you can always put it back in your fridge when you get home. But if you don't bring enough, then you're going to end up being in fast food places trying to find something, and it gets a little bit more challenging that way. So just make sure that you bring along some of your favorites. We all have our staples that we like to stick with. Making sure that you've got them with you is certainly going to make it easier when you get going.
Hi, I am Jenna. I've been with the team about a half a year, and I am the official wall sit coordinator. Whenever we have downtime, we make sure we take a minute to sit on the wall and keep our quads strong. But I'm going to share about munchies and how to pack some good travel-friendly munchies. Just make sure you get those nutrient-dense items that will fill you and keep you satisfied for a long time. Anything that's easy to pack, especially if you don't have a way to keep it cool, are beef jerky, nuts and seeds, fruit, and the dry fruit is great in case you don't want to have squished, bruised fruit. The dried fruit travels well as also. And if you do have a way to keep things cool, cut up veggies with hummus is a great snack. Yogurt is an awesome one if you need a sweet treat. And those energy and protein bars are an awesome option as well. Just check those labels. Sometimes those are filled with sugar and lots of bad fats. So make sure you're reading for the ingredients, and the fewer ingredients is always the best. Here's an option to look at the labels so that you can get an idea of what exactly you're looking for and what you're buying, how to make the most out of your calories. Make sure you check the calories and the serving size. Often a container can look like it's a single serving size, but it might, if it has 2 servings and 250 calories, and you eat the whole thing, you're actually eating 500 calories. So definitely make sure you keep track of the serving size on those. Then you're going to always look at the daily values down this purple column. Those just show you what the daily value percentage of a particular ingredient is according to a 2,000 calorie diet. So you want to make sure you're keeping the saturated and trans fats low, especially those trans fats. Try and avoid those. And then the high ones, you want to keep the fiber high, and protein, high protein is good. Try and keep those sugars low. But those values are a good number to kind of measure if your calories are empty calories or are really providing you good nutrition. Again, keep those saturated and trans fats low, cholesterol low, sugar low, and sodium low, and get the most out of the potassium, fiber, and the vitamins and calcium and iron. So all those things are great to look for before you buy anything.
My name is Kale. I have been with the Healthy Utah team maybe 8 months or so. I am the official, as of today, PowerPoint coordinator because I've made 2 PowerPoints now. So I hope you enjoy most of it. I didn't do all of it. The team helped out a lot, so that was always good. I'd like to talk about you've packed your food, you've been on the road a while, and now you want to stop. Where you're going to stop at the gas station. So you go inside and you're obviously going to be overwhelmed with all goodness at the gas station. Things you probably never let yourself buy, or maybe things you are your secret that you love. Ice cream, candy bars, soda, whatever it might be that you love to take with you on the road. So keep in mind that you're trying to stay healthy while you are traveling. Hopefully you've planned ahead and you have some good snacks that you can already eat, and you might even be able to avoid getting food and drinks at the gas station. I just like to compare these 2 different convenience stores. On the left, we have a lot of healthy options. On the right, we have the not so healthy options. Take a look on the left. A lot of times you can see these things, but they'll be hiding at the gas station. You can choose juice or maybe a vegetable V8 blend instead of soda, or maybe you can take a piece of fruit instead of a candy bar, or a fruit cup instead of, once again, soda, another sugary drink. And then looking on the right, you can see more, might be more protein dense, but also a lot of fat, maybe even some of that trans fat that Jenna talked about that you want to stay away from. These foods on the right will keep you maybe full for a long time, but you also might make you feel really heavy and pretty tired afterwards. So pay attention to the quality of food that you're looking for at the gas station, and keep in mind that you're just going to be sitting in your car. You're not going to be moving around so much. So that's my next point here. Staying active while you're traveling. So you're still at the gas station and you're pumping your gas. A lot of people, you'll see them, they'll step out of their car, they've been driving for hours, and they stand there and pump their gas. They're just standing, or even worse, they get back in their car and sit there and wait for the gas to pump. Take advantage of this time. Go for a short walk. Maybe do some squats, jump up and down. Let's be honest, if you're not pumping your gas in your own town, these people are never gonna see you again. Do some lunges across the sidewalk if you wish. One of my favorite things is while you're traveling with kids, you're gonna need some frequent breaks. They're gonna have to go to the bathroom. Take advantage of those breaks too. Walk around. Maybe you're traveling with a dog. Take the dog out. Make sure that they're comfortable as well. One of my favorite games to play at a gas station is to take all of your travelers and you each take a turn kind of playing maybe like a Simon Says game where you start doing jumping jacks and they have to follow, or a follow the leader where someone in the front does lunges, and it can be really, really fun for the kids to get out and move and follow their parent, sibling around. And remember just to be safe while you are there. Another thing is, like Becky said, plan ahead, know where you are going to be. Just staying active, not while driving, but while traveling. Pack some active wear to use once you get to your destination. You might not know where there's a gym or maybe a safe road. Ask the locals for fun and active things to do. They'll even know better than what a website can tell you. Staying active can help you stay really energized. It can help you to de-stress and to burn calories.
All right, so let's get back to breakfast, my favorite meal of the day. When you're finally at the hotel, that's one of the things that we always think about. What are you going to eat while you're there? Breakfast is always something that you can pretty much count on finding at a hotel. Whether or not the quality is there is an entirely different story, but you can usually find something available. So let's just talk about navigating a continental breakfast at a hotel and just making sure that it's going to be the best choice possible. The thing that's kind of fun, I like it when we get to hotels and the little kids come in and they're so excited because there's pancakes and there's waffles and there's sausage and there's bacon and there's eggs and they want it all. Sometimes I feel the same way when I'm hungry in the morning, and so the question for me is, what do I want to put on my plate? How do I want to start my day? That's pretty much going to give me an idea of how the rest of my day is going to go. So one of the things that you want to watch out for, take a look at this one over here. Well, hold on, little mouse isn't working. Okay, so we've got all sorts of goodness here. I always want to go grab waffles or pancakes when they're available, but again, like Kale was talking about, sometimes some of the things that you put in your body make you feel heavy. They really don't leave you feeling healthy and strong throughout the day. You've got this sluggish feeling sticking with you, and that's not really a good way to start the morning. So trying to avoid a carb-heavy breakfast is probably a really good idea, especially when a lot of places are going to offer something more like this. You're going to be having bread, you're going to be having toast, there's going to be muffins in there, you're going to have donuts, pastries, a little bit of everything eventually adds up to quite a bit. So a couple of things that I find are helpful. Make sure you carry some staples with you, some things that you can always bring down and can kind of add to what's ever there. Sometimes you don't have to add to anything because, I mean, there's all sorts of stuff already there. But when you've got something like this, how do you make that a filling breakfast that's going to keep you going until lunchtime? So I like to carry oatmeal with me. A lot of places offer that anyway, but I like to avoid a lot of the excess sugar that's going to be found in some of those packages. So I bring my own oatmeal. Sometimes I even bring seeds. We talk a lot about things like flax seeds and chia seeds and things that can add extra omega-3s to your diet. Those are things that you can easily add to your oatmeal, and they don't change the way that it tastes or anything like that. They're just a nice bonus in addition. So that's something that can easily be carried. Lots of places offer packages that make it easy. I like to bring sometimes peanut butter even along. I don't like the stuff that's full of sugar. I try to avoid excess sugar when possible. I think that that's something that is helpful. But just know that those things are available to you if you don't want to fill up on, or if you don't want to take a lot of that stuff with you. It's just one way to avoid the excess sugar that is there. Also, always a good idea to start breakfast with protein. Look for the best options that are there. Eggs are always a good idea. Generally speaking, you can find them in a continental breakfast. Watch the fat levels. Things like processed meats are always going to have high levels of fat. So they also do carry that protein with them. If they're the best choice there, just try to go with less. Less is always more, really, when you're talking about your health. So those are just a couple of things to think about. Recognize that this is your first meal of the day. It's not your only meal of the day. So don't go crazy. Make sure that you're going to give yourself something that will satisfy you until noon, but also that's not going to leave you feeling a little bit hungover.
My name's Ben. I'm one of the testers as well. I'm actually the testing coordinator, so I just coordinate basically everything. So right here we're just going to talk about how to eat out when you're on a trip. if you're like me, it's pretty tough to find healthy food when you're traveling. Plus, you want to make good time when you're traveling. I don't know why, I just like to make good time when I travel. So it can be pretty tough, especially if you're trying to find something healthy to look for. So first of all, just beforehand, you should look ahead. Try to time the trip so you're stopping in the right locations, that you know what's in the location where you're going to stop. Also, it's easy. Go ahead and just be picky where you are. So if they ask you if you want extra fries or something, just ask for maybe a side salad, and you could ask for vegetables. You could ask for maybe a fruit cup, something else besides getting that fried food or those unhealthy options. And usually we know what's unhealthy. We know we're stopping to get something and it's not going to be very healthy. So sometimes also it's just important to just control the portions. So what I like to do a lot of times as well, usually I'm traveling with my wife, so we'll just share something, and it makes it a lot easier so you're not eating the whole actual meal. Or if we're traveling, like when we are out doing all the testing throughout Utah, I'll sometimes just eat half my meal, save the rest for my lunch the next morning. Usually at these restaurants, they give you a whole lot of food. You don't need to eat all of that food to actually feel satiated and feel good. You can always look up the calories as well. Restaurants are required to have calorie intake, how much calories are in each of their food. Sometimes you have to ask, because sometimes they hide it somewhere in the restaurant, or they have it behind the counter or something like that. But you can ask and find out what's the better option for you to have. And like it says here, if you ate a heavy lunch, try to eat a lighter dinner, and kind of vice versa goes too. So.
Hi, I'm Kinsey. I am actually the newest road warrior, but I'm also the newest designated plank coordinator. And we also do planks with our wall sits. We try to do that every hour. We learned that from one of our, wellness coordinators that we met at the wellness conference. So that was really fun. So I'm going to talk about traveling with kids, and kids can be crazy, and you might want to do the easiest possible snacks for them, but it's important to keep them healthy as well as yourself. So it might be easy and kind of tempting to buy those chips, cookies, and candies that are so nicely packaged, but if you are going to prepare something healthy, it's super simple and it only takes a few ingredients. Trail mix is actually one that can come individually packaged, so if your kids don't like to share and they want something of their own, that's a great option rather than chips or cookies. Also, it's easy to cut up some apples and throw them right in a Ziploc bag. If you're worried about them going brown and your kids will think they're disgusting because they're brown, just add some lemon juice, and that typically helps prevent them getting all yucky and brown. But also, if you want to add some protein to it, it's easy to put peanut butter in just a little small container, or lots of times there's options to just buy individual peanut butter packages as well. And another fun one that kids might just think is, cool is the ants on a log. It only takes 3 ingredients: celery with some peanut butter on top, and then little raisins for the ants. It's kind of fun, and it's something that you can take along on the road. But if you have a super picky kid, like a lot of people do, maybe give them some options and let them pick something out, and as healthy as they can, but make it something that's fun for them that they'll like. And so yeah. Another thing when you're traveling with kids is entertainment, and this is more of like mental health, not necessarily physical, because there's a lot of times where it's just easy to turn on the TV, give them your iPhone, the iPad, their eyes are glued to the screen the whole entire ride, and that just isn't the best for your mental health. So here's some ideas to keep your kids entertained on the road without having them glued to a screen the whole time. Like we talked about before, when you're out taking breaks, make them get out of the car, turn off whatever they're doing and stretch, move around. And a lot of times kids like to explore. They're super adventurous, and if there's rocks, they can go jump around. Obviously be safe, but there's lots of fun things for them to do at stops as well. Another option is you can print off a sheet or a checklist of state license plates, and when you guys are traveling, You know, there's lots of different states that you'll see, or maybe license plates that you'll see, and you know they can compete on who can cross them off the fastest, and that's kind of a fun option, and it keeps them entertained. Another one is there's window markers, and you know let them be the next Picasso and Picasso. Let them create a masterpiece on the window. I mean, it keeps them entertained and they have fun. Download some audiobooks that you know would be interesting for them, not only just adults. You know that can be fun. And another option that I've heard about is if you buy disposable cameras, they kind of just go to town with those. They think it's super fun and they snap pics, and they can do that not just on the road but the whole vacation. And then last one is create your own travel scavenger hunt, and you know it keeps them entertained the whole trip, and it's just a fun way that you know they're looking for things instead of just wanting to watch TV or something. So those are just some tips to keep them mentally healthy as well as, you know, entertained.
Thanks for joining us, everyone. We have really enjoyed putting together this webinar for you. Some take-home topics I'd like to just reiterate. Remember to plan ahead. Look at those calories. Look at what you're going to be eating, the quality of your foods. And remember to be safe and have fun.